I found out my mom what I thought she was. When I was 13, my mom and dad had a divorce. My mom had always been dull and uninterested in me ever since I could remember, so I and her weren't that close compared to me and my dad. During the divorce, I was asked to choose where I wanted to live, and I chose my dad. My mom had me on weekends, and during those weekends I kind of ignored her or was mean to her. My dad told me she was the one that asked for a divorce, and in my mind, she was ruining our perfect family. After like 2 months or a bit more of her picking me up, I told her something really along the lines of her not deserving my dad and her being a lazy, useless bitch. After that day, she did not bother picking me up. I thought she left me, and at the time, I resented her for it. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago. I am now 17. My dad and aunt have a bad relationship, but I and her are good. We were talking, and I was saying some bad things about my mother, and my aunt looked at me and told me to stop there. She then proceeded to tell me that you are old enough to understand now and told me that my dad used to beat my mom. He abused her mentally and physically, and it left my mom with severe depression, which is why she slept a lot and dissociated a lot. I could not believe it. Could the man that bought me my dream car on my 16th birthday be someone that abused my mom? But then I remembered my mom frequently injuring herself. I used to wake up in the morning to see my mom with a broken wrist or her hand in a cast, then a month later she would have a cast on her leg. Then there were times I would get something while she was showering and see bad bruises. And she would just say that it was from hitting her stomach against the kitchen table. Then I would remember the times my dad would call my mom lazy and useless, and how my mom would just sit there silently, looking at her food. My aunt told me my mom did try to take me away from my dad, but my dad is really rich and he knew I would choose him and that my mom is the reason she is still in contact with her brother. She wanted to cut him off but my mom begged her to look out for me. Then my aunt told me that the last time she visited me, she tried to commit suicide and was admitted to a psych ward for a month. I realized that I was my father's daughter. I said the same thing dad always said to her. And hearing that from me must have been gut-wrenching for her. I feel horrible, I am horrible. I wanted to talk to my mom and apologize, but my aunt told me that I shouldn't see her because I could trigger her again and that she was happy. I searched for her on social media and found her happily married with 2 stepdaughters. I know this because after stalking her page, I stalked her daughter's page and found a picture of my mom and her stepdaughter with a caption talking about how blood does not make a family. I am a really bad person. I am a horribly self-centered, nasty. My dad is on a business trip, and even if he comes back, I don't think I can confront him. A part of me still loves him.